Korean life.
Welcome back to another episode of This Korean Life, number 140, featuring Martin Rehder, the brains behind Ulsan Online, and a powerhouse behind, what's it called, the Inferno?
I helped.
You helped?
I helped, yeah. There was a lot of people that helped with that, but yeah.
This, for people who are listening who probably have no idea what the Inferno is, that was a motorcycle scavenger hunt around Ulsan.
Yeah, photo scavenger hunt. Go to all these strange pictures and places and take pictures. And,
Incredible. And you guys, that was an annual...
Yeah.
That was an annual thing.
I thought it was a great way to get people out that normally wouldn't get out of the city and
It
go do
was
things.
scooters, motorcycles. It was awesome.
At the
man.
end, it was bicycles the last 2 years.
No way.
And yeah, there was a lot of bicycles, a lot more than I thought there was going to be.
Did you ever work with We Hope and soccer team and hockey team and stuff? Liability is always, even if you're not profiting from it, liability is always a huge concern for us. Did you ever worry about that? Was it just foreigners involved in it?
We didn't make any money. We didn't charge any money. It was just
Show up if you
show up
want
and ride. Yeah. So if there was liability, it was on you. We never made anybody sign anything or commit to anything at all.
What was the prize for winning? And it was a full day event.
Local
correct?
fame and fortune.
The fame and
Right.
fortune.
That's pretty much all you got.
And you guys had really cool T-shirts too that you did up
I
for
think
them.
so. I think we paid for some T-shirts. I don't remember how we paid for them. I don't remember what we did to do that.
What was the "If you can ride this, my Ajima fell off"?
Something like that. Every year was a different slogan on the back. The Ajima Apocalypse was one. Yeah.
Oh, those are awesome.
Just a fun way to get together and spend the day and see things that you never would go.
You're
Some of them are far enough away you would never go there just for that.
Yes. Yeah.
But you go to here. Oh, let's go here too. And yeah, we saw a lot of stuff that I would never have seen.
Funny enough, what just popped into my head, I think when I did the bachelor party over at the beach, I think Scott Rotzel showed up and we had to like chug a beer, or someone had to take a picture of someone there chugging a beer. I think that.
I do remember one of that, something like that.
It was like a little golf ball toss thing. You toss it on the
ladder.
PVC
Yeah.
Oh, ladder golf.
Ladder ball. That's it.
And
there was beer drinking involved in that. Yeah.
That's fun. That's fun.
It was fun. It was a good day.
I know we're all a little bit older now, but I'd like to see some of those things in the community these days. It seems like that's what's lacking in the tightness of the group. I mean, it's very, very diverse now, and nowhere near the close-knit community that it used to be. And also now, I find a lot of those things are now initiated by the Koreans, and the Malang, the Box, Kolkam, whatever. Now they're kind of in charge of these things because they see there's a gap and a space there, and bringing foreigners and Koreans together. But there's not a lot of foreign initiative anymore. Where before I used to, this guy did the rugby, we did the road hockey, and these guys did King James V at Tombstone, the music. What do you call them?
I was
dinner party, dinner theater. Like, there was all kinds of wild, crazy shit, and everybody, if it wasn't there and you were into something, you did it, you made it. But that just doesn't exist anymore.
But
it's
maybe
too bad.
I'd say there's two reasons for that. First, like you said, the foreign community splintered into. There's not the bar that connects everyone.
But JJ's connects a lot of people still.
I'd say drinking's down over the years. And,
Sure.
And back in the day when no one was connected, there was no social media.
There were several. There was Mugadong. There was Sindamdong.
Sure. Songnamdong. Yeah.
Samsandong.
Yeah.
There were several places you could go and run into foreigners.
Yeah.
Here, these days.
No, not
JJ's.
Yeah.
JJ's is the main.
Now this heavy metal place that moved over from Songnamdong, but in general, pretty much just JJ's.
What's the heavy metal place?
He used to be a bartender at Chili's, right?
Yep.
At Sticky Fingers. And
Byungju?
Yeah,
that
maybe.
guy?
So he
I think that's the guy from Purple Haze.
Oh, okay.
That might be the Purple Haze guy. Oh, I haven't heard that name.
I forgot about Purple Haze.
That was a wild place too.
Yeah.
He moved to Songnamdong and opened up a place called Heavy Metal Bar.
Metal bar.
And it's hardcore. And now he moved to Samsonong. He's got live shows every week and whatever. But he made national news in Songnamdong there because he'd get so many 45, 50-year-olds coming in and asking for Oasis or Hotel California or whatever. And he's like, he had a sign on the door and he said, 40, 50-year-old ajaxis are not allowed here. they make too many requests for soft rock and something else. Like,
That's funny.
This is a heavy metal bar, and I have to argue and fight with all these guys, and it makes major problems for my regular clients. So
you should have made a requirement. You got to have a nose ring, or you can't.
So he's been on the national news. They're like, imagine a place like this where they're banning Korean ajaxis because they keep requesting the same.
Well, he said they would go in and drink whiskey or whatever, and then get sentimental and like put on some trot.
Yeah.
Put on some. He's like, bro, we're not doing that. And he doesn't play any no Enter Sandman, no real popular songs. He wants
nothing that ever got played on the radio.
Yeah.
Basically. Oh, it's Slipknot, and it's wild. It's wild.
It's good though, man, and that's he's found his
it's a good
his
space.
niche. Yeah. I like it.
Good for him. That's good.
But maybe you think social media probably made a dent in the community. Before you were dying on a Wednesday. You're like, oh, I'm gonna meet all my buddies on Friday and Saturday, and it was something to look forward to. Now, maybe even post-COVID, it's hard to get people
back then,
up.
I mean, we were doing Ulsan Online before Facebook was a thing. I mean, Facebook was kind of out 2007, 2008.
Yep.
And then we came along, and Facebook still wasn't really ubiquitous like it is.
Yeah.
You didn't have any of those sort of things. Reddit wasn't out at all.
Yeah.
There just
there was nothing.
A lot of stuff. Yeah. So different way to get information and get involved.
Take us through the start of Ulsan Online. Still a pillar in the community now, and
is it?
Yeah.
JT at the helm.
Yeah, that was something that Finn Madden started, and he's a smart guy. Likes to write, likes to do photos, but didn't have the
technical know-how to.
Not really, and so it's like, oh, you want to do some web stuff? I can do some web stuff, and I whipped out a couple things, and then he was like, oh, well, why don't you just join up? And I guess we did it for a year together. And I kind of stayed on the technical side. He did most of the writing, and then he went off to Egypt after that.
Yeah.
Just in time for their revolution.
Perfect.
And,
yeah.
And then I took over, and it was a lot of fun. It kept me.
It was good. Originally, I remember using it back in the day, and it was like movie schedules, which were hard to find, and bus schedules. I believe.
Bus schedules.
Yeah.
Tried to keep up with those, and movie schedules were like, I'll do those once a week, even though they change, but at least give you an idea of what's playing.
Sure.
Not the times.
Yeah. That was that was very helpful for me in the early days, and it's cool to watch it grow and see other people. I mean, Dee came in at one point, and she was generating lots of articles, and I think at one point too, you guys were paying people to write reviews on different places.
I gave some money away just because I didn't have time to visit all these restaurants and go write it all.
That's cool, man, and it's still a huge. I think a lot of people who come here still find that quite useful. And the Facebook group obviously is pretty supportive as well.
I used to like that way back then. I don't know, 2011, 2012. You could type Ulsan into Google, and it was the second one that came up.
Sure, yeah.
It was the second link. Now it's way down the line. It's way down the list.
What's ranking at the top now? I wonder. Ulsan weather.
K-pop dancing in Ulsan or so.
Yeah, any number of things. It's a couple of pages to get to Ulsan Online, but it used to be like the thing. It's like I used to sell advertising based on that. It's like type in Ulsan in Google and see where my website comes up, and they go, "How much can I pay you for that?"
Yeah.
I made a lot of money off Ulsan Online the day. I did.
And OMK Bikes is where I bring my bikes for service, and that guy is awesome.
I just went there a couple weeks ago,
dude,
and he recognized me right off the bat. Oh, Martin!
Hold on, I've never introduced myself to the guy. I walk in, everyone, Brian, but
yeah, he's good.
Maybe they study people on Facebook or Ulsan Online, but
he professes that he got a lot of business off of Ulsan Online.
Dude, I go in there, it's reliable. He's an honest dude. Anyone listen, OMK is the place to go and take.
We got a couple of Cannondales there. That was the wedding present from our wedding in Canada. We couldn't bring back, so they just gave us money. My mom's 10 sisters, and went and bought a couple Cannondales there. And I think I didn't have to go back for 5 years. I walked in the door, he's like, "Hey!" Like, really? Like, I thought maybe I might have to convince you that I bought these here and you promised me all this stuff.
No, he's got a little OMK sticker on the.
He's really good with people.
He's solid.
He was an Inferno supporter too.
Yeah. Oh, the last 2 years for sure.
Yeah.
There's you still do lots of bicycling, there's a guy that's popped up on my YouTube recently. It's called Probably Riding. Have you seen his thing? it's just this dude in Seoul who just goes on cruises and he meets a buddy, like has a coffee, and he just narrates very simply over. I don't know what the appeal. I don't know why it's appealing to me, but it's quite good, and I'd like to recommend that to you. Probably riding. Yeah, it's good. What kind of riding do you, or what kind of bike do you have?
I've got a Bianchi road bike.
Road bike.
Yeah, I brought it over from
clip
America.
in pedals.
Clip in pedals.
You crazy.
It's got the curly handlebars, so you're kind of bent over halfway. Right?
Those skinny tires?
Real skinny tires. And
Is it the gravel?
I'm hating them. I'm hating the skinny tires because the only thing you can really ride on is good paved road.
Yeah.
Anything else? Yeah, I think just this year I've had like 3 flats.
Yeah.
Just this year.
I mean, flats, fine.
False flats.
Lucky you didn't throw it down.
Yeah,
You
I
hit
just
some-
had one yesterday, matter of fact.
Some gravel there. Whew.
Did
Those skinny tires are hard to patch.
Yeah.
You know, they're just so close to a seam that it's like it's not going to work.
Yeah.
do you got the mint green Bianchi?
No, I have actually a black one with that kind of puke green just logo.
It's fucking slime green
All
logo,
the
yeah.
Yankees are like all that lime green,
Yeah.
pale sick green stuff.
Sure.
This was kind of a special sort of deal that I bought in Dallas and brought it with me.
Nice.
And it's a good bike, but it's just terrible on anything but paved roads.
Yeah, when I went to Canada, my buddy let me use his Bianchi. It's the first time I've been on a gravel bike or a road bike.
Yeah.
Had to learn how to clip into the pedals, but good God, those things fly. They fly.
It's pretty smooth.
Holy shit! It was incredible to me to see, like, when I drive here with I started with like a big honking like Giant, and it was a large size frame. And I would max out at like 24 kilometers an hour. And then I got a hybrid Giant, which is, skinnier tires. And I was like 27, 28. I'm on this Bianchi with the clip-in pedals. So you're getting the full, the pull and push.
It makes a big difference.
You're cruising like 30, 33 kilometers an hour, just cruising. And you're like, oh, I'm not even pushing that hard. Yeah. It was really, really, what a great experience. And you can understand how those guys go so goddamn fast.
I struggle where I'm at though. I'm living in the mountains, and so getting down off the mountain is easy. Getting back home,
same buddy who came here to visit last year. We went from Seoul. We went from Seoul to Busan, which is
a ride.
It's a beautiful ride, but in the middle there's Mungyong, and it's just 2 massive mountains that you go up. Maybe it's like Heartbreak Hill in the Boston Marathon. You just go up, you're like, oh, that's got to be no, that's not the end. Oh, that's got to be, no, that's not the end. And it just keeps going and going and going. And as soon as you stop, dude, you get smoked by mosquitoes, and it's fucking awful. But on the backside, you cruise for 10 kilometers and just, don't got to push at all.
Yeah.
But
I've been on some of the roads that I used to ride when I was here the last decade.
Yeah.
So. And it's like, I did those steep roads. I remember this road. And I rode these. Because now I look at them and like, man, I'm old. I'm just not able to do that kind of stuff anymore.
Yeah. Wow.
How many miles are you putting on a week?
Oh, I don't know. I do kilometers. I did like 20.
I said miles because you're American. Now you're going kilometers. I would have said kilometers.
I don't know. I did 29 yesterday.
Nice. That's a good...
I did like 23 the other day before that.
And you're out a few days a week?
Yeah, I usually try and get on the bike 3-4 days a week. Depends on how windy it is or rainy, whatever. I don't I don't got to push myself. If it's really windy, I'll wait for better weather.
Yeah. And where are you riding? Just the country roads?
Yeah, I try and stay pretty close to home. I haven't gone on any real treks.
And you must get a lot of close calls with the cars.
There's a few. A lot of people are really respectful. There's a few that aren't.
I like now when they ride in groups, because just the one kamikaze guy driving through Samsung on his bike, I get it if you're in a big city that's aware of cyclists and guys who commute to work or whatever, but one guy in Oakdong or Samsung, I'm like, dude, nobody's expecting you. You are begging for trouble. In Australia, when we were just there, man, Saturdays, Sundays, groups of, it looked like the Tour de France everywhere you went. Through town, countryside, wherever it was. And it was 10 riders, 20 riders, 4 riders, but rarely did you see an individual. And I just think here, I'd like to ride more, but fuck.
Dude, no, I don't know why anyone rides in the city. They got beautiful paths up and down the river. There's no need to ride.
Yeah.
That's
no
why I
need
used
to
do
ride
a
in the
lot of
city.
my riding was out. When I lived in Cheongsam, it was easy to get to Dudong or those places.
Sure.
Yeah.
I like to go from here to what's the name of the temple? What's a big temple?
Songnam-so?
No. It's about
Haedong Yeonggongsa?
no, not that far.
Bogoksa?
No, before that, that's Gyeongju.
Tongdosa?
Shit. Tongdosa.
Oh, yeah.
I go from here to Tongdosa, back to Myeongcheongyo, and it's about an 80-kilometer loop, but it's beautiful. And if you go in the morning, it's beautiful.
I used to live over by Home Plus, Soamdong, and I would ride from there up over Muryangsan over to the beach, the Pebble Beach over there.
Yeah.
Like a Saturday afternoon, I think I'll just ride to the beach.
Yeah.
And now I look at that and go, what was I?
What was I thinking?
What was I thinking? Because I can't do that now. Now it's just
ago.
like, God, that's just too much.
One of my best memories from a ride last year was just driving to, went to the temple and then back and ended up in Donggu at the beach.
Mm.
Oh, it's beautiful. Stop there, have lunch. Usually I just go do the loop and come back, but stop for lunch, do the second half. Oh, it's beautiful.
I do a lot of my riding on the coast road.
Yeah.
31.
Yeah.
And so it's just beautiful. It's just up and down and around the corners and
beautiful, isn't it?
Just gorgeous. Yeah.
Did you ever run? Were you ever a runner?
No. I did when I was younger, but no.
I was gonna say I can
middle
see
school,
myself making a shift from running. I don't know how sustainable running is for as I get older. Then I think the bike is a beautiful transition. It's so enjoyable. So enjoyable.
Yeah, running is really hard on knees.
Sure.
And stuff. And
Yeah.
Yeah, but you wouldn't know it here though. Those marathons the average age in those marathons here is freaking 45, 55 years old.
It's the knee straps, man.
Yeah.
There's no young guns in the run. Like here, exercise is all for older people.
Yeah.
You don't see many 20 to 40-year-olds exercising here, almost anywhere.
No, I see a lot of old dudes.
What do you listen to while you're cruising?
I don't.
You're full.
I listen for cars, man.
Interesting.
I listen for
Very
cars.
cool.
I used to listen all the time. Back home in America, I would always have headphones in because I never really worried. But here I've got a rear mirror on my helmet.
Yeah.
And
On your
always-
helmet. Cool.
I'm always looking
That's smart.
because they are
Smart.
nice. You know, there's a lot of hidden curves.
And
You
it's
go around
not
the corner
they're
and
just
you
not
know.
used to it, right? Like I mean, they haven't. This is only 5, maybe 10 years max where they're driving with bikes on the road. I mean, it's not very common.
There's even dedicated bicycle lanes, but I rarely use those because people park there.
Yeah.
That's just a spray painted bike on the side of the road. I don't know
It
how
is.
dedicated it is.
Great idea, poor execution.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, let's change directions here. You said you came and you were 43.
Yeah.
Presumably you had a career in the States before that. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you were doing before and how you ended up here?
I did. I had a degree in computer science, and I was a full-on geek. And I started out doing defense contract type stuff. As I mentioned before, I did guided missile development.
Right out of uni?
Yeah, right out of uni. I did guided missile stuff. That was really fun.
Were you working with one of the big guys, like Lockheed or somebody? Or?
Texas Instruments.
Yeah, okay.
Back when they had a defense division, they sold it to Lockheed and a few other places. But yeah, that was a fun time. But then I lived through the whole web development. I mean, the whole web explosion from the early '90s until like 2000 and the Y2K thing.
Yeah.
And technology just got to be.
Y2K.
Yeah, remember that? There people were going to bury.
We were at a New Year's party. So
Yeah.
what was that? Y2K. 2000. So I would have been what, 20? Right? 80, 20. Yeah. I remember sitting there and everyone was waiting for their computers to explode and.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I had people
and
tell me
the clocks
hey,
aren't made to tick over and everything's
I've
going
shut
to
my
be lost.
computer off for a couple of days. You think it'll be all right? I said,
Yeah.
I think it'll be all right if you leave it on too. You know?
Yeah.
I knew people that buried ammunition and food in the backyard, and I knew people that said, "I'm ready, bring it on."
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of hoopla around that for
So
sure.
I got really burned out on that whole era. It was so much change between all the web stuff. You know, people selling barbecue.com for $1 million with no content. It was like
Yeah.
the world has gone insane with
You
this
got the
stuff.
name,
And,
but then there's the big.
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
dot-com
you-
bubble,
you
right?
paid for the name, and then what? And I kind of got burned out on that whole thing. I started teaching in America for a while, and got burned out on the fact that teacher salaries are just plain crap.
I see lots of stuff on YouTube. It's like, I'm a teacher, but I also work at a convenience store because I can't afford food, and I have to buy my kids pencils.
I was probably one of the highest paid teachers they had, making like $36K. But prior to that, in high tech, I was making, well over six figures.
Wow.
And it was like, I've got I don't know, 17, 18 years of engineering, and I'm going to teach math and science to these kids, and that's not worth anything? No, we got to pay you just, your starting year teacher salary.
How do you expect anyone to be serious about their job when you're paying them fuck all time?
Now it's kind of state to state, right? Like, I see where, whatever, Georgia's paying them, for example, $40 an hour or whatever, 80K, but then Texas is paying only 20K.
It varies
so all the
within
teachers
Texas.
from here are going over to the next state, and then it's just destroying or depleting the teacher population.
It varies in Texas. It varies by city. Some cities I could only get like 22 to 24K per year.
Huh.
Some were willing to pay me more. I went to a private, what they call a charter school.
Yeah.
And they paid me 36.
That's private, partially sponsored by government.
It's paid by the government, but it's not like the schools. The school system, independent school district, where they collect taxes and all that. Instead of collecting taxes, they rely on butts per seat to get paid. And they got mostly kids who were kicked out of regular school either by health conditions that forced them to kind of be behind everyone else, or behavior problems, or what have you. We had a lot of court-ordered kids that you either go back and get your diploma here or you go to prison.
Yeah.
They were fun.
Yeah.
So I dealt with that for a couple of years, and then decided why don't I come here and teach ESL in Korea?
Very
and
cool.
I came here in 2004.
That's
I remember we got here around the same time.
Yeah, we were here within a few months of each other, weren't we?
We
6
met
months or
through
so?
Amy.
Amy.
Right? Yeah.
We did.
Yeah.
Canadian Amy. Yeah.
You mentioned guided missiles, and before you mentioned the Javelin. What was that like, working on something like that, or what was your role? Or
my role was developing the target tracking system. We got video imagery in from the nose of this missile. It was an infrared imaging system, and we got 30 frames per second.
Wow.
That we had to each time say, well, within this block of pixels, where was what the gunner wrapped his little indicators around. He got a little square that he can grow and shrink around the target. And he said whatever he decided was the target, we would have to follow that. And then the next frame, 30th of a second later, we'd say, well, it's moved up this way. And the fins on the back and the gimbal in the front would adjust and go, now it's moved over here. And so we could follow something as it moved. And it was pretty cool. I mean, it would launch way up high and then come down on top of the target. And so it was pretty effective against armor sort of thing, where most of the armor's out front. And this would come up on top.
Wow.
And these are still being used today, correct?
Oh, tremendously. Yeah. Look on YouTube for Javelin. You'll see all kind of stuff where they just go in and kick butt.
Are you still up to date with current guided missile systems and how they work?
No. That has changed so much. A lot of that went from pure visual to GPS guided sort of stuff, where I've got a drone way up over here that I can direct you. I know exactly where this is because I know where I am, and I can calculate my angle of sight. There's a lot of math involved. There's a tremendous amount of math involved to do that.
But yeah, I don't know why I'm so intrigued by what's going on these days, but even with the start of Ukraine, Russia, because nobody could ever watch war live. And I don't mean like it's like you want to, but
you saw the after effects of what the journalists would give you.
Like, holy shit, man! Like, you can watch this live. It's crazy. I thought that was just video games. You never thought you'd be able to watch.
No, it's all drone wars. Stuff. And sometimes they'll throw a drone at another tank or a truck or something, and if that doesn't finish it off, well, they've got to do a Javelin because it's got a much bigger warhead on it.
But now you can follow the guy's goggles, that what he's seeing, and like I don't know what the game's called, first player shooter or whatever those games, but you can be like, you can be like in the war. It's crazy to be that close and to see. You used to have to go and look for something, and you just see the bomb and the explosion. But now they give you that picture from the nose cone. Yeah. The feed, and then to read about it, like the one that did hit the girls' school, that there's no reason for that to happen when they can see exactly what they're going to hit.
That was a Tomahawk, so it was going to be guided beforehand by something based on old maps.
But it also has
I don't think the Tomahawk
No,
has.
I thought I watched a
imaging
breakdown of it.
system.
It said it had
Maybe.
imaging.
Maybe the newer ones do. I'm not sure.
It's crazy that
Wild.
people still go to war even after seeing all that shit.
What's scary though is that you're seeing the guys do it now, and they've got like a little PlayStation
In their living
control.
room. Yeah.
But how long do you think it's going to be before it's like, I'm just going to launch it and I'm going to let AI do this for me, and assume that AI knows what it's doing. And I tell you that I was programming up until actually just about last month this time. I was still programming, and I was beginning to use AI and letting it develop some of the stuff I was doing for apps, the mobile apps I wrote. I can't tell you how terrible it was.
Yeah.
It would just sometimes just screw up and then say, oh no, that's not right. That's like 2-year-old technology. I need it in this year's library.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. Let me do that again. And then it would spit out the same 2-year-old junk.
Yeah. You see it every day. I did one just out of curiosity. I did it for our hockey NHL playoff pool. And I said, if you're trying to win $1 million in a playoff pool for the NHL playoffs 2026, give me the team, 12 forwards, whatever. And it gave me Mikko Rantanen playing for Colorado. And I was like, he got traded 2 years ago. He plays in Dallas.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. Like, yeah, I lost $1 million.
Oh,
bastard.
Oh, you're right.
It's so fun. Like, you can find 10 times a day how wrong and how bad it is.
But they're willing to put all that stuff in
You're just crazy.
today, now.
Yes.
So
Scary.
yeah. If you like seeing these videos, enjoy them, because I think in a few years it's going to be like, oh, we can't show you that because we actually did kill the girls in school, and we did see it, and we knew it was there, but we made a mistake, and our AI hallucinated on us.
I watched a movie a couple of years ago about the drone operators and how I think the movie is framed as like they're I'm just playing a video game, and then you see them kind of the psychological aspect of it where they're just slowly breaking down, like when I push this button, like, oh shit, I'm gonna bomb like a bunch of civilians, and it showed the psychological effects of doing that. And you'd think being boots on the ground, you're going and shooting people face to face, but in the movie anyways they showed like
we're approaching the point of where T2 where in the battle scenes before in the future where these robots would fly in and over and just shoot people, and it's like that's pretty close.
Well, I think back to the Bin Laden raid there or whatever. I think they showed some head camera or whatever GoPro footage of that stuff, and you're like, wow, like you used to read about it in the paper and see a picture. Now they bring you in on the freaking biggest raid ever. Like
crazy.
And that's what I mean. It's kind of, I don't know if I find it just really compelling, intriguing. It's not the enjoyment. It's just the how do we get to this point where we're in on the whole war, and I'm just sitting in my living room, whatever. But yeah, it's just crazy that you can. I remember them showing the ones in Iraq or Afghanistan where they would drop a bomb and it would hit a Jeep or whatever, and the guys would go running away, and then it would show. It would show the whole process of, okay, you got to get something else in there, and there's 3 guys running north. Like, holy shit, you feel like you're a commander in the army live.
Do you remember when WikiLeaks came out, and I think they had the helicopter guys shooting people running, and you could just hear their voiceover, like,
I remember.
Hey, look at these guys. And you're like, whoa, holy shit.
Because we saw it in video games growing up. But you never thought it would be.
Wasn't Vietnam War kind of like that it exposed? Well, wasn't that the big thing about the Vietnam War? Like, where the media got in there and they were sending information home, and people at home were like, whoa, what the hell's going on here?
It was not something they were allowed to do in like World War II. It was like they were allowed into places usually after the fact. But in Vietnam, they had embedded journalists. And I remember, the evening news. Yeah. They had the body counts and how many people were killed, and there'd be 30 seconds of firefight going on while we're eating dinner.
Wild.
Yeah.
Wild.
They somebody asked Hegseth yesterday or 2 days ago, what is the person? How do you feel personally? Coming on every day and rah maximum destruction and all this stuff. So just one for you, without getting too much into it. But if you were part of that, making the guided missiles, how did it feel personally, and now you still see the javelin going around causing harm? How does that? What does it feel like?
Yeah,
what is it like?
Yeah. I gotta say that's one of the big differences then to now is because we never talked in terms of tanks or jeeps or helicopters that we were hitting. It was always a target. It was never a person on the other end of that, a human. It was always a PK.
Yeah.
And probability of a kill.
Yeah.
We never even said kill. It was just PK or PH, probability of a hit.
Right.
And there's our target. What's the target?
Don't know.
I knew.
Yeah.
It was mostly tanks.
Sure.
At that time, there were still 40-some thousand Soviet tanks on the East German border.
Yeah.
Which back when there was an East Germany.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the big thing. We knew there were tanks. We knew there would be other APCs, jeeps, and other things that they'd aim at. But we only talked in terms of target, PH, PK. We didn't personalize it because I think if you do that for a living and you talk about every day, I went in and we killed another tank and another crew. I think that's going to weigh on you.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Yeah. So it was easier to compartmentalize, and this is my job. This is what I do. And
and it was I'm just working on a piece of electronics that looks for a target.
Because when they asked him, I was like, how? He said, his answer was, we want to give our troops any ability possible to protect our country, and I was like, yeah, but you're on here on the news every day going rah rah rah
with
maximum.
Other little videos of hanging in with some
and I just think
Nintendo Wii clip.
How doesn't that weigh on? How doesn't it weigh on you? Like how can you sleep at night knowing that you I don't know.
I don't know. If you're a soldier, you might need that. I don't know. But as an engineer, it was something that we tried to stay away from. We didn't talk about what the human cost of any of that sort of stuff. We just didn't.
And you're also you're developing the software or whatever. You're not actively like bomb those kids. That's you don't know how it's going to be used. It's not.
No.
You can.
Interestingly enough, we got some video of the first. The Kuwait and Saudi Arabia war with Iraq. We got some video of that before we were ready to go out with our own missile in the field. We were still tied up with a lot of wires and stuff at that point, doing a lot of tests. But we got a lot of video back from the first Gulf War. And we saw a lot of the tanks getting hit with like Hellfire missiles. Yeah. And one would go up, and then the next would go up, and then we'd see another one, and the Iraqis would just scatter. Yeah. Even before the missile got there, it's like, I'm not waiting for this one. Yeah. And so it's like you do that enough, and I'm sure that's going to weigh on a person's mind. Yeah. I don't know if any of you guys saw House of Dynamite. No. It was on Netflix, but it's like a missile gets launched from somewhere they haven't figured out where because they only caught it in mid-flight. Oh. And they tried to shoot it down, and it's going towards Chicago. Yeah. And the president is faced with the choice of what do? Do I send a massive response? Or a very targeted response, something in the middle. Who do I respond? And he's got to do something. The guy is pressuring him. The guy with the little red box and the button. Which one do you want to do? Oh. It's like, how do you live with yourself afterwards, having doomed so many people to this? Yeah.
Wow. I say before, my parents used to winter in Florida for about 10 or 12 years, and just being in the States and being neighbors for so long. Every single event in America starts with honoring some form of veterans, right? I mean, it's everywhere you go.
Seems like, yeah.
But in Florida, and I remember when I was there and realizing there's more veterans in America, or more disabled veterans in America than there's people in Canada. And it's just going,
10% of the population?
That's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. But when you're there and you see it, and Florida's got one or two of the big hospitals there, and it's mind-boggling to think of. I mean, if you asked about in Canada, I'm taking into consideration what America's done or the role they've had in the world, but holy shit, man, it's a lot of people.
We've been in a lot of wars.
America
has been in wars.
Non-stop.
I don't know what
100-something years.
200 plus. 150 we've been a country.
Yeah.
It's been well over 200 years. I mean,
and that's why this one seems so extra crazy to just be sending guys out there and go, oh, holy man, the impact it has on people. I mean, jeez. Crazy.
Well, the good thing is Ulsan is wonderful. I look out my window every day and it's shiny and there's no violence over here. It's a beautiful place to live, man.
Did you ever have any thoughts of getting back into that after you got into teaching and away from it for a little bit? Did you ever think
No, it's just one of those things that it was fun to do, but it was also very, very much at the whim of Congress. at the time. That if Congress decides they don't want to spend the money, now it's like it's the president.
Yeah.
He doesn't care about Congress, but yeah, it was always a constant struggle of Congress may defund us, Congress may not want to do it, Congress may want to spend millions and millions, we'll all be rich, and so it was a lot of up and down and stuff, and so no, commercial commuting is much better where you kind of predict the future based on what people want to do, business trends, that sort of thing.
So you make the decision to move out to Korea. How do you pick Korea? I thought at that point Japan would be back in the day, early 2000s, Japan was the hot ticket.
I'm an engineer. You got to do some research, and you got to check your options, and you do some math.
Yeah.
I was actually traveling in Thailand, and I met several people who were teaching in Korea who were in vacation in Thailand.
Okay.
And they said, "Oh yeah, you can teach in Japan, you can teach in Thailand and China, you can teach in Korea," and it's like, I didn't know that. I mean, I'm looking at the salary going, salary is what? Back then it was like $2,000 a month.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking,
it's still $2,000 a month.
So 24 some thousand a year, and I'm making well over six figures.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, I'm not sure I can do that.
Cost of living, $300.
Yeah, cost of living is really low. They're going to pay for my apartment. I don't really need a car.
And your ticket.
And it's like, I think I can swing this. I live like a king.
Absolutely.
But I did the math, and it's like Thailand, you can't make money. China, you live like a literal king there, but you won't make any money to take home. Japan, you can't really live well.
Well, I was doing the same math. We came at the same time. I was crunching the same numbers. Yeah. Japan, you had to pay your own rent, $1,000 a month.
Oh,
and here, so just being 2 hours on the boat from Fukuoka to here, and I saved $12,000. Okay, I think I'll try Korea first.
Yeah, it was pretty much a no-brainer. Once you do just a little basic math, was like
cost of living versus your.
I think a good deal.
I think Germany was paying $4,500 or Turkey was paying $4,500 a month, but it costs you $4,800 to live.
Yeah.
You're like, whoa, okay, Korea is still Korea.
Yeah, it was much more fun. I've always had an affinity for Asian culture kind of thing, and so Middle East, none of those things really interested me anyway. So Asia was going to be the place.
Recruiter sent you to Ulsan? How did you?
Kind of, yeah. I looked on. I think it was Dave's ESL Cafe. Probably like everyone else did, and found one. A recruiter hooked me up. I think I got a phone call from the school within a week or so.
Yeah.
I'm at a climbing gym in Dallas, climbing, and they call, and it's like, okay, so I'm sitting there talking to the recruiter for a while.
Marty Rehder.
The recruiter did a terrible, terrible job. I don't remember who it was, but
they all used to.
I remember
Peter Corey
getting a ticket from Dallas to Japan, from Japan to Korea. No idea where I'm going next. What flight? What airline? Nothing. No information. Go to Seoul. Same thing. Where am I going now? Yeah. And I'm having to call this. Yeah, it was really terrible.
It was a while. That was my biggest thing.
Like, Indians back then.
What am I gonna do when I get off the plane? Like, I don't speak any Korean. I don't know anything about this place. But coming to Ulsan was.
It was great. I landed at a really, really good school. I'd heard a lot of horror stories from a lot of the other foreigners I met while I was here. That some of them just had terrible, terrible times.
Yeah.
Terrible school owners and just terrible managers. The people I worked for, they were awesome.
That's
good.
They
were really, really good. They were good to me. They took care of me. They made sure that I got everything I needed right. I mean, I said I wanted to go get a scooter. Oh, well, then we're going to make sure you get a license.
Yeah.
It's like, I would have never done that.
They still don't do that.
No, they were really good about making sure I.
But look at the residual effects that's had. They took care of you. Now you've built Ulsan Online. You did the Inferno. You went. You came back, and that's when you get those good experiences early on, as I did too. You never know the seed that you're watering, right?
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. Yeah, I built a lot of culture and stuff out of just the good experiences I had. We're like, yeah, I had fun. I want to make sure everyone else had fun too. Have a good time.
How long did you stay here?
I was here a year the first time, just because I wasn't sure I really was going to like it, and I kind of committed myself. I'm going to stay the first year. I went back to America, and they were still in the middle of we don't know what the hell we're doing. The economy was really in a terrible state. I stayed maybe 16, 17 months in America, and then I came back, and I stayed here another 6 years. So I left in 2013. 7 years, I guess.
We worked together in 2011. It was after I got married. We did the after school. We were doing after school program for a bit there.
2013. Wow. Yeah, that's not so long ago. I for some reason I think it was so long ago, but yeah, it's
13 years ago. But yeah, I went back right when mobile technology got to really be taken off. I mean, iPhones came out in 2009, Androids came out like a year or so later, and I started programming them like that year, only because Finn was going to Egypt and he wanted an app of his own. It was like, well, Korea won't let me have an iPhone and an Android phone, so I'm going to pick one. Okay, Android.
Yeah.
And so I learned Android, spent 2 years doing that here, and then I went back to America and said, I can be an Android boy for you.
While you were teaching here.
While I was teaching here,
during the 6 years.
I wrote a couple of little crappy, cheesy apps, but learned pretty much all
I
the
remember.
basics.
Tell us about the apps that you made early in the day. Was there one teaching?
There was
managing
one,
your students.
Nah,
possibly.
That was what Finn wanted.
Okay.
Was more of an exercise thing. He went to go be a physical education guy.
Yeah.
So he was more geared towards how many push-ups, sit-ups, runs, what's your attitude, all that sort of thing. But
cool.
I did one for a recruiting site that never went anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I did another one on a game I found in Thailand years before called Triominoes.
Triominoes.
Kind of like dominoes,
Yeah.
only triangles. And I made a game for that I spent a lot of time working on that. That got
Cool.
really popular. I also did a couple of, track your gas in your vehicle sort of thing. I did a bunch of little, wimpy little things. I think I even did one for Ulsan Online that was like, you wanna track where this cool restaurant is? It was already on the site. You want to go?
Yeah, there
to
was
that
something,
thing?
definitely.
Yeah, all Android only, just because Korea wouldn't let me do both, and I didn't pay anybody else to do it for me. I was only learning.
Yeah.
But I went back at that point, and I billed myself as an Android developer, and it was like, man, there was just not enough. Everybody wanted to do iPhone.
Yeah.
And Android was at that point really, really difficult to do. It was really hard to understand the twists and turns that Android wanted you to do to force stuff into an app.
Yeah.
And I did it for a long time. I guess 12 years.
Nice.
Worked on American Airlines app. I worked on Match.com, a dating app.
Yeah. Were you part of that leak? Or no, that was Ashley Madison.
Ashley Madison. I don't know anything about that.
You wrote a book too, didn't you?
I wrote a book.
That's pre-AI. Good for you.
Yeah.
that's a legit book.
Yeah. There was no AI back then. I wrote a book, and that didn't go anywhere. I wrote a couple of short stories.
Nice. Have you always had the creative spark in you?
I didn't think so. No, I didn't think I knew how to write until.
What gave you the inspiration to write a book?
Just doing blogging shit.
Okay.
Just blogging stuff like when I went to Thailand, I wrote a few pages of here I'm in Koh Phi Phi today. Here I'm in Koh Samui or Khao Lak another day, and what am I doing? And people's like, oh, I like your stories, and the pictures are great. And it's like, maybe I could do this. Mm-hmm. I had actually written a lot as an engineer on the defense project. Is government work is a tremendous amount of documentation.
Yeah.
Of first, what are the requirements? What are the software requirements? What are the testing requirements? What are the goals? What are the after test effects? What actually happened? I wrote a lot of stuff, and there were some times we had some missile failures that I had some managers come up and say, that was really well done, considering we failed that.
Yeah.
You wrote that really well.
Yeah.
So, there's some times that I thought, okay, I might be able to
nice.
spin some words.
Good. Are you gonna now in retired life? Are you gonna go back
now?
You do music. What do you? Guitar?
No, I
Singing trot?
I had a guitar way back then, but that was when I realized I had no talent.
Yeah.
So now I'm just kind of doodling around. I bought a little MIDI controller sort of thing. And I do Ableton, if you know what that is.
No.
Tell us.
Digital audio workstation sort of stuff.
Okay.
GarageBand, heard of that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Flute loops.
It's like GarageBand. Yeah. Fruity Loops, those things.
Yeah.
Ableton is probably the more professional thing.
Very cool.
There's probably 2 or 3 more like that, but
very cool.
I had shoulder surgery a couple of years ago, and it was like I'm not able to do anything except kind of one hand, and so this was a one-handed
shoulder surgery from.
Just an accident. Now, it's kind of a way you can load up, horns or strings or whatever, and then the keyboard acts like you're playing it.
Yeah.
You can play that instrument, and then you get the whole mixer thing and the digital audio.
I had a student who got into that. Pretty cool, yeah.
Yeah. I'm never going to get famous, but I have fun.
Possibilities are endless.
I entertain myself.
Don't say you'll never get famous, because there was a kid from my hometown it was my buddy's cousin. went to a different high school, but as far as I knew him, he was just like the quiet kid who had the rudimentary software on his computer, making beats or whatever, and he ended up have you ever heard of Deadmau5? It's spelled DEADMAU and then the number 5, but he calls himself Deadmau5. Dude, he's massive. Sorry, this is like 10 years ago. Massive, like going around the world, like raves, like 10, 20, 30,000 people. He puts a mouse head on, like Playboy girlfriend, drives a Lamborghini around my hometown. Like, just incredible.
There was one Cuban that said you only need one good idea.
Yeah.
You can have a lot, but you only need one good one.
Yeah. Well, he found like this weird niche of like techno music that no one was really developing music in that niche. He's like, well, I can do that. Boom. And just had that gimmick, the head, and you never know.
Wow. Yeah.
You never know.
Never know. It's fun. It's just, whatever floats your boat sometimes. Writing was fun, and I thought I'd get famous. Apps, I thought I'd get famous off that. Music, I've come to learn I'm probably not going to get famous, but I'm still having fun.
But it's the pursuit, right? It's not the end goal. It's a journey of learning something new, and you look back, you're like, well, look at this.
I never learned music, and I'm learning that now, and that's you're right. It's the journey.
Yeah.
It's how are we getting there, and the fun thing is music is really so much about math.
Yeah.
And the engineering, there's really a lot of tie down. I actually knew a lot of engineers who were musicians and didn't realize why.
Yeah.
Playing with it.
I think Tool, you're familiar with the band Tool?
Oh, yeah.
Tool, they, I think a lot of their music is like, not a lot. I think there's one song in particular that's created to like the Fibonacci sequence or something. I don't want to explain that, nor can I. But
I know what it is, and I still can't explain.
It's like it's like that fucking pyramid of whatever. But I think a lot of their music is written around math and shit like that too, which is pretty cool, man.
So you spent 6 years. Did you go and come during that time, or were you here the whole time?
No, I came back. I came back once. I came back in 2018.
No, but I mean, you stayed until
here?
2013.
Oh no, I went back.
When you were here for 6 years, were you going back frequently? Or?
Yeah, I'd go back every year. My oldest daughter had a couple of kids. Yep. She had twins, and so I'd go back. Usually around Christmas time, I'd get like an extended week to go do that. So I'd go back and see them once a year. That sort of thing.
And then between when you left in 13 and 2025, did you come back here at all?
I came back here once. My wife, all her family is here.
Yep.
And so she was coming back every year, and I decided, it's been a few years. I guess it's been about 5 years. Came back and was amazed in just 5 years how much things had changed.
Crazy. Yeah, so I was going to say, maybe tell us about some of the feelings coming back, either 2025, right? You came back 25?
Yeah, we came back.
Or 2018. That's a long time ago, 2018. But
2018 was probably the biggest one.
Compared to when you came the first time.
There was a place I used to ride the bike quite a bit, and that was, like I said before, was go from Suamdong over Muryangsan to the beach over there. I'd ride that on Saturday. And there was a place I remember seeing, like the very first weekend I was here in Korea was there's like a little coffee shop that you can look back towards Jeonja Beach, little pebble beach. And back then it was just like a couple of little coffee shops, maybe a pension, maybe
now it's like a couple 30.
Now there's high rises over there.
Crazy.
There's like a dozen high rise apartments over there, and so
all developed
the whole
along
landscape of the beach changed. It was like this has just been 5 years since I've been gone.
Yeah.
Now it's been another 7 since I came back, and I can't even find my way around Ulsan anymore because all the familiar landmarks are swallowed up by all these big high-rise apartments. So it's like, where's that? Which one is that one now?
Something you might find interesting. I had, anytime North Korea flares up, or like we're going to send bombs, or any scare here, very rarely do I get any messages, Brian, you okay? A long time ago, parents would send, like, hey, everything okay? Not much these days. However, I believe your wife had a hair shop.
Yes, she did.
What was the name? What was the name of the building? No, the building name. Arte?
No, that was like next door. That was like the high-rise next door was Arte something.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, do you know that lit on fire?
No.
There was a huge fire there. I think some guy put his smoke out on the 6th floor outdoor terrace and just roasted the whole side of the building. Whoa. But dude, I woke up with 30 messages from 30 different countries like, bro, you okay? I saw there's a fire in Ulsan. I'm like, what the fuck
That
are you
one by
talking
Lotte
about?
Mart?
Yeah.
That
And it blew
huge
across the
thing.
street,
Oh,
lit
God,
Lotte
yeah.
Mart on fire.
It was,
And,
on,
I mean,
it was on all the national, international news. Is
of all we had an earthquake, North Korea, all that shit. No one cares. However, Arte, whateverville was on fire, and it was like international news, like Australia, Canada, like, bro, are you okay? I'm like, I didn't even know what happened, but yeah,
The embassy,
yes, everything's
the
fine.
embassy called. Do you know if there's
Yeah.
any Canadians in that building? I do some work with the embassy. Do you know if there's any Canadians in that building? Can you please check? We're worried about this. Everyone's talking about this big fire, and it was, I mean, it was bad, but most of it was just the outer skin bark of the building was really flammable, and it just went the whole thing. It was wild to look at, but I think almost everybody got out safely.
I never even heard about that one on the news. No.
I thought her thing was. I thought her hair shop was in. I knew it was around the area.
No, it was like right next door to that. It was
Interesting.
Just a little alley.
Did she enjoy doing hair? I have this fantasy of becoming a barber, and just like
I think she liked it. She had a whole stable of onis. And they came around whether they needed their hair done or not.
Yeah.
They would talk, drink coffee, have dessert.
This is how I imagine.
Hanchan. Yeah.
This is how I imagine my life. Just hey, come on over. I don't know if this is bad advertising or not, but
No.
having the skinhead here. But
I think she liked it. She still is very stylish, and
Cool.
I believe in that. It's like if you're going to set someone else's style. If you don't have a style of your own, how are you going to give someone else a style? And
Sure.
So yeah, she always had a little unique style that
Cool.
I think a lot of their customers are like, I want to, this
like
woman knows how to
the,
do it, and I want her to make me up.
that's
Nice.
awesome.
Yeah.
What 6 years, and then that was it? The kids made you crazy, and you decided to go back home, or what?
No, I think what really made me go back home is after I'd been here for I don't know, a total of 7-8 years or whatever it was like by then I was 53. 52, 53, and I thought, what am I going to do to retire on? And I can't make enough money teaching in this land to retire, to make money. I mean, there's not much you're going to rely on other than your own money here, and I'm not going to make enough to be able to save it.
Right.
And so I thought, I've got to get out of here. I've got to make some money. I've got to somehow support my old ass.
Yeah.
And America has Social Security, but that's iffy whether or not it'll ever last.
Right.
But even though you've got to contribute to American
X amount of years
tax dollars to do that, and I had met that goal. I had met the number of years you got to do it, but the money I had put into it meant that I wasn't going to get that much back.
Right.
I only had a few years of making 6 figures, or so maybe half dozen years of making over 6.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm gonna make some money. Like I said, that was the time that Android and mobile development got hot. And I saw the salaries those guys were making. It was like,
Huge. Huh?
I can do this. I can do this job. I can make those apps, and I can make that kind of money. And I did. I made good money.
Good.
I made really good money.
Were you planning that from a couple of years out while you were training yourself here? Was that the intention? I'm going to learn it here. Once I'm good, I'll make the move back.
Once the Android stuff came out, it was like
You were ready to go.
It was clear. The iPhones were already there. Android had its own solution. It was like the world is headed this way. I can see where it's going to go. And I'm looking at salaries going web development, like Ulsan Online. They make okay money, and they did. And they still make decent money. But mobile was like probably another 50% higher back then.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's like I can do this. I can make this.
Good call.
Yeah.
So did you go home freelancing, or did you have something lined up before you got there?
I went home and I looked for a job, and 3 weeks later I landed one.
And then you were, if I'm correct, bouncing all kinds of different jobs, right?
I had a bunch of different short-term
here,
contracts.
this here, there.
First one was only like 5 weeks. But then I got one that lasted a year, another one that lasted a year and a half.
Is that how that industry works? Where you just pick up little jobs here and there?
Some. There's a lot of contract-based stuff in America on technology sort of things.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them. There's like contract to hire, which means if they like you, you like them. We'll give you an offer.
Okay.
But by then I got to be a crusty old fool, and nobody really wanted me. And I was happier just going, I've got this experience. I can apply that to your job, Mr. Hiring Manager.
Yes.
And I would always get a bump up every time I went. I'd get a bump, and
Nice.
it was just easier to just go, fine, I'm done with you guys. I can move along.
Yeah.
And I'll get another one. I'll get a bigger
Nice.
salary, and
We were talking
good.
yesterday about just future of work and whatnot, and educating yourself, and I think we all agreed the 4-year undergrad of sociology or psychology, those are going to be gone soon, and maybe the micro degrees, or like learning the specific skill. You get a job, you apply it, you get that experience, then you go on, and it's going to be a constant learning, not just a 4-year a 4-year stint and then I'll just cruise for the rest of my life. It'll be constant upgrading of
It always was. There was never a point where I said, I've got my bachelor's degree in computer science and now I can rest on my laurels and continue to just let the money roll in. No, the whole throughout the 90s with the web and Y2K, and then going back in the 2010s after that into mobile was like, that was constant change. Just constant change. It was like everything you did in the app last time, that's just not only no good, it's terrible, and you have to redo it. And so, it's constant learning.
What were some of the challenges you faced going back from here? I mean, like you say, living like a king here, life's pretty easy going, low stress, pretty fun. What was it like? You went back to Texas?
I did. I went back to Texas only because that's where my kids and family was. My parents lived there. My 2 daughters lived there. I think the biggest shock was how car-centric America is. Is that I grew up in a place where you've got neighborhoods where it's a home and a yard and a home and a yard and a home and a yard, and that's really nice. But that means you're not walking to the corner grocery store. And there's not a taxi sitting on every corner either.
The convenience of life here is wild.
I mean, getting on a bus here, getting on a taxi to go somewhere, and I want to go down to the big grocery store or it's just phenomenal. Going down to go drink with the foreigner friends. That doesn't happen either because there are no foreigner friends in America.
You're all foreigners.
You can go to the grocery store and not even see the same clerk week after week. So you can't even make friends going where you it was really, really different. It's like there's none of the community that I had here. The transportation was like, you've got to have a car. And it's funny, when my wife came, when she first came to America, she was like shocked. It was like, where are all the people?
Right.
In their house.
They're in their car.
in Texas. In Texas, where there's lots of people.
And there's air conditioning because it was hot as shit. They're in their cars. They're in their mall. They're in their office. They're in their home. And that's it. Well, there's no people walking. It's like there's nowhere to walk.
I mean, she wasn't in South Dakota. She was in freaking Texas.
If we'd lived in New York City, maybe, or San Francisco, maybe, where there is a lot of. A little bit more public transportation than there is in Dallas, but Dallas had almost none.
I remember the first time bringing my wife back in the winter, and we walked from the SO to Mom and Dad's. It was just, 5,000 people in the town. And it might be 1.5 kilometers maybe. And
to the convenience store, to the nearest
it was the SO
store.
gas station. And which has it's the only thing in the town. There's a restaurant and a gas station or whatever, and so they sell some candy bars there. So we walked back, and she's like, but there's no people. Like, how? Why isn't nobody out, or why? I'm like, well, this is considered pretty cold, and you just hibernate for the winter and come out in the spring. Like, but that was always a thing. Like, even landing at the airport, my kids the first time that they could process what we were doing, or they're like, why are we going so far? We've never driven 45 minutes in Korea, like just to get from the airport to home, and we haven't seen a person yet. More horses and cows than people. Where's the people?
45 minutes is here to Samsun on a Thursday night. Never mind driving halfway across the city. That's
so
funny.
it's I think we used to drive for hockey. An hour to practice was nothing, but here an hour. You can get places.
Did you find it a pain in the ass going from small apartment life to having a house that you had to maintain?
No, I actually didn't like the apartment lifestyle coming here. That was one thing I didn't really like. I'd always lived in a house, just because I lived in Middle America and everybody had houses. And so an apartment where you've got to listen to the people above and below you and beside you and all that. I never really liked that. I only lived in an apartment here for about 3 weeks when I first came, and then we moved into the school, and I got the top floor of the school where we were at. And that was pretty cool. The school owner lived on the 3rd floor. I lived on the 4th floor.
Could be cool or could be not, maybe.
It was pretty cool. They were good people.
Nice.
It was fine. We I guess after about 5 years we moved into an apartment of our own. I wanted to do more freelancing. I didn't want to work at the school anymore. It was a brother and sister team, and they kind of got tired of each other. And it's like, okay, maybe it's time for me to move on too. And I went to go do a lot more freelancing and adult teaching and different stuff. I worked some contracts for some corporations. And we got an apartment then. Yeah, it was much less enjoyable. So I'm a house kind of guy. I like being able to turn up the music if I want to. And
tell me about the pond at home. I saw some pictures of the pond.
No pond here.
No, behind your house in Texas.
All kinds of landscaping. And
yeah, I that's just something I developed way back in the 90s. Was I wanted to do a pond, and I've had a pond in almost every house since. Even in our little school in Chunsan, we built an indoor pond.
What do you throw in there?
Koi.
Yeah,
koi.
very
There's
nice.
always like a little pump that pumps up water, makes a little waterfall. And
do your koi fish eat McDonald's French fries?
Not that I know of.
No, Jeffy's eat McDonald's French fries. Yeah, I saw. I mean, he's been feeding him McDonald's for years now, and we saw yesterday the one fish grew a fucking arm. It's got a bicep, bro. He was trying to climb out of the pond yesterday. We had to kick it back in. That's
funny.
It was incredible, but that's awesome. That's really cool. My brother had a small business back in the day, aqua gardens, and he would go and make gardens in schools and houses and stuff with like little waterfalls, and I don't know if he stocked it with fish or not, but really cool. I worked on a couple projects with him.
We're
Really
thinking
nice.
about where we want to put it. The woman who had our house before we bought this one, she was really into gardening, and she just there's no room left. There's room for a walkway, and everything else is pretty much taken up with flowering plants. And, it's really pretty, but trying to find a place for a pond is like, we're gonna have to kill some flowers to do.
Yeah. So you've come back now. You bought a house. You were
Jeonjutek.
Jeonjutek.
Hold on. You went back to get money so you could be comfortable in retirement, and then you said, "Got enough money? I'm out of here again, or what?"
Yeah.
Oh, I got old enough to retire.
Yeah.
I was working at a place up until the end of March last year, and they decided it was cheaper to hire someone out of school than to pay me my high-end salary. And Texas makes it really difficult to sue for age discrimination. Makes it almost impossible. It's a very pro-business area.
Yeah.
And so it was really clear. There was like 2 iPhone programmers, and all of a sudden there were 4 of us Android guys. The newest one was just out of school, and I was a very highly paid guy. It's like, So
Heads on the chopping block.
within a few months, I'm already like, in trouble for just about everything. It's like, I can see where this is going. So they fired me. And I decided, well, I'm 2 months away from 65. I guess I'll retire. That was at the same time AI was coming out really strong, and so I had normally been able to find contracts within a couple of weeks, and actually not just interview and get opportunities, but actually go from I don't have a job today to 2 weeks later sitting in a chair with the password going, I'm in.
Nice. Yeah.
It was, and then I went to after I got fired the last time when AI was out, and everybody thought I don't need to hire anybody, and the tariffs make it to be, I'm not sure what business is going to be like next month anyway. I couldn't even get an interview in 2 months. Not even an interview. It's like, I think it's time to retire.
Writing's on the wall.
When you were doing that stuff, were you in offices for times, or was it all work from home?
No, sometimes it was offices. American Airlines was mostly office. Match.com was office. Most everything else was remote. And so I worked from home. We had bought a house in North Dallas that was kind of a really old neighborhood. And so the houses were in good shape, but the value just skyrocketed.
Beautiful.
Just phenomenal. We bought, and it kind of made my anus pucker at the price.
Yeah.
But 10 years later, we made a boatload of money off it.
Nice.
And
Good
so
for you.
We took that money and we bought the house out here, so we owe nothing on this house.
Beautiful.
We take all our profit and just great. No mortgage, no loan.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
That's comfortable living, man.
Very comfortable.
Very nice.
What was it like comparing the office work and the remote stuff? Were you favoring one or the other? Or?
Oh yeah, remote is you still got a schedule. I mean, there's
Sure.
It's not like you can just work all night and then sleep all day, whatever you want. So there's still meetings to do. Most places had like a mid-morning. We're going to have meetings 9 or 10. We might have some meetings in the afternoon, but
I did that for 1 year of Corona or whatever. But I went into the office every day, and most of the other guys worked from home. And I was like, I got to separate the home life and the work life. And
that's difficult to do.
My sister works from home, and they have an office in the home. But I'm like, man, don't you got to get out? I'm a people person. I got to see people. And the routine of get up, get my kids going. I go into work, I come home, and that's it. I'm done.
No, I would
But I
often
can't
get my cup
imagine.
of coffee and go sit down in my office. I had a separate room for an office. I'd have my cup of coffee still in my pajamas, and I might be in my pajamas till 1 o'clock.
Yeah, that's what
But I'm working.
I feel like so sluggish, or just that I got no motivation. When I tried staying home and working from the computer at the kitchen table there a couple of days, like, whoa, I gotta go in, and even if I don't talk to anybody, I gotta see somebody or move or.
I think the biggest trouble I had was stepping away from the computer, particularly when there's a problem. And I'm like line engineers, it's like, I've got to solve this. I'm gonna solve this. I'm a thinking man. I can make this work, and technology sometimes gets in the way of all that. And so
when you're in the same area, though, it's hard to, it's hard to find solutions.
If you're in an office, it's like, oh, it's 5 o'clock. It's going to be traffic. Okay, maybe at 5:30, 6 o'clock, I'm just going to go and leave it, and then you have to leave it there. But working from home, it's like, yeah, honey, I'll be there in a minute. Dinner's ready. Okay, give me a few minutes, and 40 minutes, an hour later, she's angry because I mean, it's hard to pull away when there's no physical barrier to keep you from working, and I'm kind of ADD, I suppose, when it comes to that. It's like I'm gonna work on this until I fix it.
So you what was it like in the office? Was it tough after being in work from home mode for a while?
'Cause I'm a people person too. I like people. But yeah, I mean, being at home where you can dress how you want and act how you want, and the only thing you got to do is interact on video with people in the Zoom meeting.
It was nice for a while.
That's pretty
It was a
nice.
good break.
It's pretty nice. I mean,
And most people would admit going into work that's not always the people that you would choose to surround yourself with. So it's not always enjoyable.
Yeah, you'll learn that. When you retire, you will learn who your friends are, and you realize, oh, I had a lot of people I worked with that were friends, but. Do they call you now that you're done? No, they don't.
Yeah.
So they were work level friends that were they the kind of friends that would call you regardless of work when something else happened in your life? No, they weren't.
So had you been planning the retirement for a while and the move back to Korea, or?
Yeah, that was the case. I mean, I lived here for a number of years. My wife moved to America in 2015, and her English is pretty good, but it's not perfect. It's not. She was never an English teacher, and so. She never really had the number of friends that I had in Korea.
Sure.
Just because she didn't work with anybody. She stayed home and she was a housewife. And so, it was always the plan to come back eventually.
Tell me about, I talked to you online about it a little bit there, but you guys did that road trip. And I thought, wow. And you said, 1 week, we're leaving, 3 days, we're leaving, this is it, we're done. And you went on that trip, had an epic ending to the trip. But awesome. What was maybe take us through that. Because that was kind of like the last hurrah, right? A little tour through the States there before coming, or?
Yeah, we went to go see all the national parks we could before coming back here. We knew we were going to come back here after the end of the trip. So yeah, there was a lot of places that she'd never seen at all. Grand Canyon.
How long were you planning that? A month, 2 months?
Until we retired. We had no specific schedule. I mean.
Wow.
We had sold the house, so we had nothing left but the car. We had packed all our camping gear in the car, and
nice.
There was.
Did
really
you put everything else in a container sending here? Or?
Yeah. We had everything shipped out over here. We went to a little Korean company in Dallas that does shipping, and I think we paid like $50 a box or something for some of these things. It was incredibly cheap. If I'd contracted with FedEx, we'd spent thousands.
Sure. Yeah.
But it was some little Korean company that was like, yeah, we'll hold it here until you're ready to move. When you move and you're ready to fly, tell us and we'll ship it over there for you.
Wow. So convenient. So convenient.
It's like, how can they afford to do this?
It's just how much are the guys ripping you off?
Oh man, it was really nice. They moved it to my mother-in-law's house. Once we got into the country, they moved it from Incheon over to her place. Yeah. And we stashed it in the back of her house for 7 months until we got our own place.
Nice.
Yeah, so we're on this vacation. We got everything we own in the car. And we just
what a feeling! What a feeling! You got everything packed up.
Yeah, but driving through that part of the country too, like
it's a long drive, man. There are days when it's like that's all we did was drive.
But it's also so gorgeous and just
parts of it.
Just
wow. The Southwest is really empty and it's not all gorgeous. A lot of it's just wasteland. Even
that Vegas to the canyon,
Northwest, like
Vegas to the canyon drive.
Eastern Oregon is a total wasteland. There's nothing to see in Eastern Oregon. Once you get past Crater Lake and get east of there, back towards Montana or Idaho, there's nothing. Totally nothing.
So you would come up from the south through all the
we
arches
went,
and all the national parks?
We didn't go to the arches. We went through the Grand Canyon. We went through Sequoia. We tried to go through, oh God, I can't think of the name of it now, the big one in California. I can't think
National Park?
Anyways.
Yeah, yeah, I can't think of it.
Then you got up to Yellowstone?
Yeah, we got around to Yellowstone. We got up to almost Washington. Decided, it's not worth driving that far to go see Washington. So we stayed in Oregon and we went back east through, went to Glacier National Park, Yellowstone, and
cool.
Saw a lot of animals. Took a couple of nice flights. We did a little tiny airplane over Glacier National Park.
Cool.
We did a helicopter ride over Grand Canyon. I mean, we're just doing whatever we want to for however long we wanted to do it.
And then your retirement almost lasted a total of what, 1 or 2 months?
Not quite 4 weeks. We got in a really horrible car accident on the way back out of Yellowstone.
Oh no!
And,
Oh, you didn't see it?
No.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, we got rear-ended. We're trying to turn left, and this guy hauling a car behind him in a truck was traveling too close, and so he couldn't stop and tried to veer around us.
No.
The trailer didn't veer. The trailer.
Oh wait, I
smacked
did see
us.
this. Did your back wheel blew off or something?
Yeah, the wheel got
Exploded.
knocked completely off.
Wow.
But he went head on to another car in the other lane, trying to avoid us. Like, that's a better deal. I'm not sure what he's thinking.
Wow.
But yeah, we got that all totally paid for, and it was funny because I was to the point of
It's the shortest retirement ever. Like, oh man.
we had this Volvo SUV on a lease, and we'd only had it for a year.
Yeah, you told me this.
And it was like we were going to give this back to the bank and say, sorry, can't pay it.
Yeah.
Sorry. But instead, we got it wrecked by this other guy, so he paid for everything. The bank was happy, Volvo's happy.
Yeah.
This is the best of all possible worlds. None of us was injured in this. We
Thank
were
you,
perfectly
sir.
fine. Yeah.
May I have another?
We were like, the only thing that we lost was all the camping gear. Was like, okay, we're just going to leave that in the car. We're not going to take it because we're not going to camp in Korea anyway.
Yeah.
Nice. That was the only thing that was bad happened. Was like
A blessing in
lost our
disguise.
sleeping bags and our tent and a cooler full of some food, but that's okay.
So an abrupt ending, and then what was it? Just get a ticket tomorrow, or?
No, we went back to Dallas for about a week and hung out with the kids. My youngest grandson had a birthday, and so we went and we did that
beautiful.
thing.
Nice.
And then it's like, okay, let's go to Korea.
Fantastic.
Let's go.
I remember you just posting those pictures, going, "Holy shit!" It wasn't just the wheel fell off; it was the axle and the
broke the
whole
axle, yeah.
everything. Like,
Yeah.
whoa.
I see, we have a friend who taught here. Do you know Zach
Yeah,
Heston? Yeah.
yeah, I know.
He,
He's a Facebook friend, sure.
Yeah, we're in a chat group together, and he sends pictures. He does lots of traveling.
Yeah, he's up
around
that way.
And what a beautiful country, man! Like he just goes to. It looks like all little towns around here and there, and he sends some really nice pictures, and I kind of pretty envious of his ability to just. Well, I'm on summer vacation, winter vacation. Boom, he goes here, goes there.
Yeah.
Really nice.
Yeah,
It's beautiful.
there's some just fabulous places in Western America. Really are. Just unbelievable views.
A lot of good food too to experience around the. No, not good.
It's fast food junk for the most part.
Yeah.
You want to pay a lot of prices for, the small towns around Yellowstone. No, I'd say
Not much?
I'd say it's hit or miss if you can find some good food.
Glacier
Glacier National Park, same sort of thing. There's some good places, but there's an awful lot of places that are like, I'm going to get these tourists because where else are they going to eat?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've talked before, and we are part of some committees and stuff at City Hall and different groups about how to attract people here with the decreasing population, this, that, whatever. And I've always suggested the retirement route, where Thailand has it, parts of other countries have it. Why wouldn't Korea try and use the power they have the last 5-10 years? Everybody knows Korea now. It's got a great image, great reputation. It's got wildly fast internet anywhere you go. Everything just kind of all came to peak at the same time, and it was just a really great place to be. Why wouldn't they offer, instead of my parents going to Florida or Thailand, why wouldn't they come to Korea for 3 months? Tax-free this, tax-free that, 5G Wi-Fi wherever, hour to Japan, hour to China, easy for traveling, touring around the region. And to make, like some retirement villages for Western expats to retire, because they do that already in so many different countries.
Yeah, I can't answer why Korea wouldn't do that. You'd think there'd be some advantage. But.
Well, so we always said, I don't know if I could ever retire in Korea. But now we have a couple, like usually everybody left, right? I mean, 45, 50, 55, then it would start, the guys that we knew all kind of disappeared. And now there's what, a couple, Dan, Kevin, Jeff, Dan Gauthier, you. So there's 5 guys around that age. Jeffy's 62? So around that age. Mm-hmm. But I think there's still a gap or a market there where, or a void to fill where, you know, Kevin used to mention, like, why don't we make a place where it's, you know, just retirement homes and a village, and not that we all have to be friends or whatever, but we're all in a similar situation and we all can, you know, feed off each other and you know, exchange creative pathways, whatever it is, hobbies, this, that. What are some of the things that, other than having a Korean wife?
He's trying to start a cult.
other than having a Korean wife, but what are some of the draws or some of the things that you had to consider?
Let me sleep with your wife.
things you have to consider before coming back, because we also know 3 or 4 guys who come back with their wives strictly because of healthcare. That they ran into some health problems back home, and when you need healthcare, there's not too many better places right now than Korea for getting you know, good healthcare. So what were some of the draws or some of the things that, other than having a wife, that, you know, make it feasible to come back?
Yeah. For us, it was a lot of family. I mean, her family's all here, but I think just the.
But if it's family and it's dangerous, or it's family and it's not economically feasible, or family and it's, you know, you're going to hate your life, then you're not coming probably. So what are some of those things that, you know, make it an easy decision or a simple decision?
I knew it was a good culture. I mean, obviously I spent so many years in it before. It's like, yeah, I liked it before. I'll probably like it now. It hasn't changed that much. People are still people here.
Yeah.
I had a lot of good friends before. I'll make some friends again, or you know, meet like you guys, like maintain friends.
The boys were asking, when's the housewarming yesterday? We were out at Jeff's. His sister was in from the UK.
Oh, that was
guys, we got Marty on tomorrow. You guys got any questions? Retirement? You guys are getting up there. Let's go. He's coming back. You guys might have some questions.
I'm terrible at planning stuff like that. I wish my wife would just do it for me.
The first question was, when are we getting the invite out to his place? And Al says, does he got room for bocce ball?
That was nice yesterday. Eh? We had the bocce balls out, throwing them there. It was fun.
Jeff's out Onyang, way out by the KTX there.
Yeah.
And same thing, like similar probably to what you have. Haven't seen yours yet.
Where's your place?
Yangnam.
Where's that?
If you know where Muyongsan is, that's the the big radio towers.
Yeah.
Costco.
Okay.
We're like right over the top.
Cool.
Side, facing the ocean. Got a nice ocean view.
Yeah.
But we're far enough up. We don't have to worry about tsunamis or.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Sweet. Just you mentioned healthcare. When you first went home, there's random things popping into my mind. I don't know why. Did you cut your finger and you had to make a decision about getting it fixed, or like a stitch was like $16,000 or something?
No, it was a.
Did I invent that story?
No, I remember posting some receipts and bills and stuff on
there were some things like that. Yeah, I cut my eye here. I actually fell out of bed and hit my eye on like the corner of the windowsill. And I cut my eye pretty hard. And they wanted like thousands of dollars for this thing for some stitches.
It's like 12,000 won right down the street.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was like just a few months before I went to a Mugadong hospital. I've just bent over, just stomach pains. I don't know what it was. Still don't know what it was. But at the end of the day, they said, "Oh, sir, we're so sorry. Your insurance sucks, and it's going to be a total of $18." I was like, "Woohoo! That's it." And then a few months later, I'm in America with I got. I don't know, 7 stitches along my, the bridge of my nose.
Yeah.
Another 2 over here in the corner of my eye.
Yeah.
And they wanted $18,000. It was like 4 hours in the emergency room. They wanted $18,000.
Bro, give me the Gorilla Glue off. I can sort this out.
And it was just like, you guys are no, I'm not paying you. No.
It's insane, isn't it?
No, and I had come back here. I had taken out all my pension money from Korea.
Yeah.
And it was like that was going to eat up probably a third of it.
Yeah.
Like, I am not going to waste my pension money on this.
Yeah.
Sorry. Well, you've got to pay it. And it's like, we'll see.
Wow.
And I never paid anything. I never paid it out.
Huh. You just said fuck off.
No, I had some insurance.
Yeah.
But they were like denying the whole thing. You're going to pay this, and it's like,
no, I'm not.
I got with the insurance and it was like,
This is insane. Yeah.
What they would do, I actually had a friend whose sister did some stuff. And
Yeah.
You've got to sign all these forms in triplicate and, have so-and-so sign off, and they just got tired of doing the paperwork finally. We're not going to get paid. Right?
Man, in triplicate, I just learned what that means. And I listened to what's his name? Malcolm Gladwell. I listened to a podcast that he did, and he talked about in triplicate and how states with in triplicate policy has almost no prescription drug abuse versus the ones that don't have it. It's like night and day. Do you know in triplicate, like you gotta basically just keeping doctors kind of honest.
It's insane. I mean, the whole insurance and healthcare thing in America. Sometimes you could go to the pharmacy and say, okay, I need to get these drugs, and they'd say, oh, your insurance says it's going to cost you $3,000 because they don't want to pay for it. What if I don't use my insurance? Oh, well then it's $50. But they won't tell you that unless you ask.
Yeah.
And if you go to a doctor and say, for many years I didn't have any insurance. For many years I had nothing at all. I would just say, I don't have insurance, but I got a good job and I'll pay you cash. And the doctor would say, oh, okay, well in that case I'll do the tests that make the most sense. Yeah. That monetary sense and medical sense, and then we'll narrow things down that way.
Beautiful.
And it's like, I'm an engineer. That makes total sense to me.
Yeah. Wow. Sorry. Another note I got written down here. Did you get so tired of driving your bicycle in fucking idiots? This drives me bananas too, dude. Just dumbass people walking in the bike lane, just mindless zombies. Yeah. Did you put a bus horn on your bike?
No, I got it's called a Hornet.
A Hornet, yeah.
A Hornet, a little UK company that makes these things that was like 120 decibels. And it was just obnoxiously loud. Yeah. And I would usually, do it maybe 20, 30 meters away from someone, go deep. You know? And so they're like looking around, of course not behind them. Yeah. What was that? Yeah. I'd do it again, and then sometimes I'd do it right next to them. Yeah. Jump up and yeah.
Oh, someday, man, that is
clearly marked path that says bicycle here, walking here, and there's some majesty that's walking down this lane. It's like, dude, the paint right there says Chajango.
It's I don't know, man. I was pretty understanding, but then the more I rode my bike, I was like, dude, it's even early morning, and you got like the massive walking path. What are you doing? Get off the thing, and it's even people crossing looking down at their phone, and like they'll cross to go to the walking path, just like completely oblivious
that I got that in America too. There would be people who would be, had their headphones in, walking right down the middle of the path.
That's what I'm driving, fuck.
And it didn't matter what the nationality was. I remember one young lady, I beeped her from 30 meters, 20 meters, 10, and then I waited until I was right next to her, slowed down, and just gave her a full-on she jumped 10 feet.
You need a taser. But it's crazy. Like, I'm at the university, so you get this nonstop every day of guys in the middle of the road. I'm like, there's a sidewalk and a sidewalk. You're in the middle with these things on. You can't tell I'm, a foot behind you. And I'm like, and then they turn around and go, oh, like, you're in the middle of the road, bud.
Yeah.
Oh, how?
Yeah.
The earphones they're worrisome.
Yeah, I don't wear the earphones here. Just there's too many things to concentrate on.
The big, that big. I just imagine you driving with like this big, like fucking.
No, it was really small. Like you're really
squeezing it with like that black kind of bag thing on the back, like an old.
I think that company's still in business. It was expensive. It was like $100.
It's worth it though.
It was well worth it.
Yeah. I bet you could make a whole YouTube channel just on you honking people.
You need the GoPro on top to record the reactions.
Oh man, yeah.
So you came back and you were at your mother-in-law's, and I remember meeting you at Costco, I think, and you were really frustrated with the system on getting the money sent over. Yeah. I think you found a place, right? Or not yet?
Yeah.
You were still looking and you were trying to get the money. Well, how did that go down? Coming back, staying with the in-laws, finding a place?
Yeah, we've kind of learned that Korean banks are run by clerks that they kind of do what they want. I think there are rules that are easy to understand, and then I think there are rules that are like soft rules. For example, you've got to be in the country 6 months to transfer money from another country. And I don't know what this was for. It's like, you've got to be in country. You can't just like, great, I arrived, but I'm going to go back and I'll come back next week. No, you've got to be here and stay here in the country
for 6 months.
For 6 months.
What if the money was in your wife's name?
Doesn't matter. Korea doesn't have community property law.
But she's a Korean citizen.
Doesn't matter.
So she has to be here 6 months too before she sends money back?
She could have gotten her money, but they choose the rules that they want to follow.
Is that bank by bank, or that's a national policy?
That's made by the clerks.
Okay.
No. We had been sending money to a Kookmin bank for years.
Yeah.
And so when we sold our house, we just transferred all our money, wired it over to Kookmin Bank. But when we got here and tried to withdraw, it's like, oh no.
Oh, so it was here. You just didn't have access to it.
Yeah, it's like we transferred it from her name. We had a joint account in America. We transferred it from her name to her name here, and they denied it and said, well, she's not a U.S. citizen. Well, she doesn't have to be. In America, it's community property.
Right.
And so even it was half hers before we moved to America. You know, as long as we have a marriage license in Texas, it's like everybody gets their half.
Wild.
Well, then it was like, well, she didn't get her green card until after you bought the house, so it can't legally be hers. It's like, well, wait a minute, you can't pick and choose which American laws you choose to ignore.
This is Korea.
You know, it was like, you don't care about our community property laws, but you care about our green card laws and when she got her green card, and so we ended up having to send our money back. Luckily, I didn't cancel my account in America.
Shit.
Otherwise, we'd have been just in limbo with like, where do I send my money? Because they're not gonna let it. Some clerk, some weenie little dickhead clerk with.
But what when you get the manager, upper manager?
We can't do that. We could never get anybody to do that. We were dealing with some little weenie in Seoul. So we went to Shinhan Bank, and it was like, how are we gonna do this? And she was so focused on getting us to sign up for an account to do this $10 a month deposit thing, so she could get a little check mark on her goody two shoes list. Wow. She was completely useless. It was just these myriad rules. So that's. But
they must have people in upper management that deal with these situations.
We could not get anybody in the upper management that would help. But we got some woman behind the clerks at Hana Bank.
You'd think this day and age with social media, you put out one, like here it's defamation laws, I guess. You put out there, don't deal with these guys.
No, the 6-month rule everybody followed, and it was funny. We went to Hana Bank to finally get our money out and watched her count on her fingers. You know, June, July, August, September. Yeah, we've been here long enough. Okay, that one's check. But then it was like, okay, you have to have proof of where you got the money from.
Oh. I did.
And that's the soft rule. There's no hard rule. Oh, proof consists of this or that. Well, we happen to have a document that showed how much we sold our house for, not how much we actually made off of it, because it just said the total selling price, not how much I still owed the bank. We could have totally jacked Korea around and said, none of this is our money, but you're going to let us transfer whatever laundering. It was just totally stupid. So rules like that. Some clerks would like make up stuff. One of them was like, well, you've got to have another document from immigration that shows you haven't gone out of the country. Well, here's my passport. Here's the sticker I got in July. There's no stickers past that. Nope, not good enough. So we had to go back to immigration just to withdraw some money out.
That stuff drives me nuts.
Then it was like a week later, we're going to get some more money because now we got to buy appliances and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I need another immigration document. Well, that was too old. It was 2 weeks ago. Where do you think I went?
Yeah.
and then we come back and we get another clerk, and she went, really? That clerk made you go back to immigration? I wouldn't have done that. I was like, thank you. We're coming back to you every time now.
Yeah.
What's your name? Yeah. It's like, we're never going to anybody else. You are our girl.
Yeah.
That's it.
From Canada to banks here, I think the rule is the name and the account in Canada has to match the one here.
Yeah.
But when the money comes, you have to give what was the question? Like, what's the money? I don't know. What's the money from? Like, where did you get the money from?
Right.
And you just, like, which one requires the less amount of taxes? Like, a gift. I'm like, it was a gift. And he just, again, like a soft, a soft rule. And then the other one was you had to sign off that you weren't gonna use the money to invest or to speculate on real estate here. you couldn't bring money. And I was like, well, how are you going to know? Like, after the money comes, if someone withdrew it all and just bought a house, like, how the fuck are you going to know?
Yeah.
How do you?
There was a lot of stuff like that. I mean, we made enough off the house to buy everything we wanted to buy, but I still got money in a 401k,
Beautiful.
a retirement account.
Yeah.
I want to bring that over, and it's like, okay, what documents do I need to prove that?
Yeah.
Nobody knows, because that's a long-term thing. It's not like I put a bunch of money in this on this day.
Yeah.
No, it's like every paycheck.
Yeah.
For years, I put money into there.
Yeah.
So what document would you want that would prove that? I couldn't get any bank to say, that I understand that, and this is what it would take. Nobody would sign off on that. There was just like a.
So you're still fighting that?
No, what we decided was we sold our house for this much. We owed the bank this much, but none of those documents say that. And so we're just saying, no, we sold our house for this much. We only used this much to buy our house. This is just more.
Yeah.
We're just going to lie about it because Korea doesn't really understand enough about another country other than to say, I need documents.
Right.
What documents? Well, I need documents.
But this is part of it, right? Like they don't know. They don't have experience in this.
They don't, and we could never get past the clerk, other than the woman at Hana Bank, where she was like the desk behind the clerks.
Yeah.
Seemed to control some of that stuff.
Q-tip in the culo might.
I mean, they have experience with
sort of.
businesses coming here and now startups, from international startups starting here and stuff, but they don't. This is what I mean. Like people don't have reference points for
the other
people coming back to retire here.
The other fun thing we dealt with was now that I'm living here, we had to give a hometown address. Well, we don't have a house. What is my home address? Well, we used her brother's address just because he was her older brother. Her father's passed away, so we used the older brother's address. Well, their place was really too small, so and that was in Masan. Well, we stayed with her other brother in Busan, bigger apartment, but he didn't want us to use his address because he was afraid of taxes. It was going to cost him money.
Yeah.
We stayed with mother-in-law, and it was an old house, so she doesn't know anything on that. And so we're living in Pohang, but we had to go to Mahasan just to go talk to the bank person. We had to go drive to Masan.
Gosh.
So 2.5 hours just to go drive down there to say, can I have some more money, please? Of my own money. Can I have my money?
Yeah.
We did that for like 6 months. You know, every few weeks we're having to go to Masan to go explain something and go take some paperwork. And,
do you want to hear a crazy one about withdrawing money? We, one of my wife's friends was a victim of the voice phishing. It was only $300, not a big deal. But I was talking to Al, and he said his wife wanted a little savings account, whatever, finished after a couple of years, it matured, and she wanted to withdraw the money, and she went in and said, maybe the other bank was given a better rate, and she's like, I'll withdraw the money. You can't. She's like, give me my money. Like, no, you gotta sign these papers, and just to make sure that you're not a victim of voice phishing. And the bank kind of steps in and says, sign these papers. Are you sure no one called you? Yes, signs the paper. And then they're like, give me my money. Oh, wait, we gotta call the cops. She's like, what do you mean? Cops came, like, we need to see your phone. We got to check it. We got to check and make sure you haven't been getting messages. And they checked it, like, all right, give her the money. But I mean, as an American, can you imagine, like, give me my money?
The level of corruption here must just be.
I was just going to say, imagine how prominent the things are that they got to check that often. Because I had a student, the whole university somehow now runs on BNK.
Yeah.
Our attendance is an app made by BNK. Yeah. So it didn't work worth shit for the first year. And we're like, well, no kidding. They're a bank. What are they doing university attendance platforms for?
Yeah.
But
crazy.
Every kid has to sign up for a BNK account when they come to the university. So this guy sends me and he says, I said, whatever, Junseok or Jamin, you didn't do your attendance. Are you registered? Because I got mostly freshmen. Are you registered? They said, yes. He's like, I'll talk to you after class. Professor, I don't have a bank account, so I can't do my attendance. And I was like, what? He said, well, I can't make the bank account. And I'm like, well, you got to make it then. Just hurry up and make. They come to campus with buses to register all the freshmen. Did you miss it or what happened? He said, well, I opened a bank account at Hana Unang 3 weeks ago, and the government won't let me open 2 bank accounts in the same month because of money laundering and stuff. And I was like, you're a 19-year-old kid with no money, no job, and you're trying to do your university attendance, and they won't let you open a second bank account within the same month.
I can't transfer to my wife more than last year. It was $50,000.
Yeah.
To my wife, my own spouse, more than $50,000 per year. This year they changed it. Now it's $100,000, but it would still be for what we paid for that. It'd be 4 years before I could have transferred enough money to buy the house.
Yeah.
And so I had to buy it all in my name. And so I think the basic answer to your question is why don't they do more retirement here is because fundamentally you must have a Korean phone, you must have some sort of ARC, some sort of alien registration card tied exactly with your name to that phone name that's your account. And so if those things don't match, you're not going to be able to buy anything, sign up for anything, approve anything. And so
crazy.
And you've got to wait 6 months for your money to come in. No one's going to retire here. No one's going to take their money and go, I've got all this, I'm going to go give it all to Korea. And it's like, man, we've spent nearly $500,000 here in Korea and nobody gives a shit about us. It's like
that's what I mean. That's the part that I wonder, like, and even if it was the temporary, come here for 3 months of the winter,
you can't.
The winter back
unless
home,
you've got a Korean phone, a Korean bank, and an ARC card.
But that's what I mean. They would have to develop that, right? They'd have to make that that ecosystem where that works, like Thailand has, like Costa Rica has, Honduras has, Nicaragua.
But you can't buy anything online. You can't get anything delivered.
One good thing though, when they do want to change something, if they're really behind it, that'll go quick, right?
Sure, they can.
Once they get into irises or fingerprints, I mean, they have it already. But
they can do anything. I mean, when I first came, it was you had to have a Windows.
That was only till 2 years ago. That was only till 2 years ago.
You had a Windows machine to be able to do it.
Explorer got the boot 2 years ago.
And if you had an ARC card that didn't label you as a male or a female, but listed you instead as a Weigukin, you weren't going to buy anything either. There's a lot of things they can do, but they just aren't really ready to. So they're not ready to step into the whole retirement thing yet.
How do you said. You wake up every day going, what are we going to do today? It's never nothing. It always ends up being something. What are some of the things I've seen? You've been out farming and helping some neighbors on the farms? And
we do. We're
riding the bike. What else do you do?
We're not very far from my mother-in-law, and she's got this little hanok-style house out on the coast up in just the edge of Pohang and Gyeongju, in a little village called Duwon. And so she's...
AJ's friend? Inside joke, sorry.
She's approaching 90 years old.
Wow.
She's still in pretty good health.
Yeah.
But she needs help with hoeing the stuff and making the rows and laying out 20-kilogram bag of fertilizer. It's not easy. So we help her with stuff like that, and we'll do that. That's maybe 25 minutes from our house, so it's
nice.
A little drive up there. We'll do that. We'll play in the garden. We watch a little TV at night. I like to read a lot. She likes to cook stuff for her friends. And
you're reading online or?
No, I have a Kindle. Yeah.
What do you read?
I've got about 4 or 5 books I'm reading right now. I read several books at once.
Do you have you read Project Hail Mary?
No.
I'm not into sci-fi books. Someone lent it to me.
I'm not into either. I'm into historical fiction kind of stuff. I'm reading Anna Karenina. Karenina. I'm reading East of Eden.
Yeah.
Musashi.
Yeah.
The Longships. So some.
Don't know that.
No, that's a Viking lore thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was listening again to another podcast where there were, I think maybe it was Turkey. 2 guys were thrown into jail for no reason at all, just political corruption or whatever. And they ended up figuring out a Morse code system where they could communicate with each other. And one guy tapped the entire Anna Karenina book.
That's a big book.
Wow.
It's fucking huge, man. And they figured out, they had like short forms for like yes, no, and Anna Karenina had its own, like the names or whatever had their own thing. But he typed the entire, I'll send you the thing. It's an incredible story. Really, really cool. Dude, it's a Bible. You can knock someone out with that thing.
It's about 1,200 pages.
Yeah.
It's huge.
And they figured out how many taps it took. It was like millions of taps or something over a year and a half. Wow. But he typed the entire thing to him. Yeah. Pretty cool.
You came back looking for a place. What was it like looking for a place? What were you looking for? What was the criteria?
Home with a yard, with either a view of mountains or a view of the ocean, or both.
Yard meaning Korean yard or Texas yard? Because like Jeffy's got a yard, but like you say, between the koi pond, the plants, the trees, whatever, we couldn't play bocce ball. You got to go in the neighbor's front yard there. So what in terms of yard, does that just mean a place outside, or
a place outside?
But
we're not. Yeah, I had a yard in Texas, and it was something that had to be mowed every week.
Yeah.
And this one, it's either gravel or flower beds, and I'm perfectly fine with that. I didn't run a motor or a weed eater or any of that sort of stuff.
Neighbors close by or no? A lot of these Korean developments, they just take a hunk and they just chock a block. 10 places, the same guy develops and builds it all.
We're on kind of a tiered thing, so we've got a couple of houses below us. We've got three houses at our level.
Nice.
There's a coffee shop right next to us that's run by a church group that mostly church people come to visit for coffee.
Cool.
Couple of houses around us. Just up the hill, there's quite a few more houses that are a lot of like house plus pension, and
nice.
A couple of famous restaurants up in the hills up there. Yeah.
Very cool.
How big is the plot around?
I don't know. Our whole house is like 57 pyong.
57, yeah. Two stories?
Yeah, 2-story. Got a nice little outside veranda.
I was going to say, any balconies or decks or anything?
Yeah. Great big wraparound porch on both the bottom side, big wraparound thing, and on the top there's another wraparound veranda. You could put a pool table on one side of the veranda, up top if the
What do you make of the craftsmanship?
Better than some of the apartments I've seen over the years.
We've been to so many different places now. It's still something that I think I don't know what it's like at home anymore, but man, those guys on their makgeolli lunch breaks there, and they come back and everything's cockeyed and crooked and. Yeah,
this seems to be pretty solid. We'd seen a few. We looked at a lot of stuff online, and we only looked at a few houses in person. There were some that were kind of built like that. We're like, wow, they kind of slapped this thing together. But the one we're in it seems pretty solid. Most of the neighbors around us, these are like anywhere from Saok to Yukok, Chilok. These are pretty expensive homes. Yeah. They're not cheap stuff. Cool. We saw a few that were close to like $250, and they were
beat
up and
you'll end up putting the extra money into them.
Start doing all the repairs.
Out of corner kind of stuff. Yeah.
How have you been received in the community?
Pretty well. I mean, like second day I was there, I took a walk up the road, trying to find some places to go do some hiking, and I walked up on one of these little side coffee shop things, and first, a woman comes out and like, oh, who are you? And she went, oh, you're the new Wegoking that moved in around the corner. Everybody knows
news travels fast. Yeah.
Awesome.
But what is no button heads or anything? Everyone's cool, relaxed, easy going?
No, it's pretty cool. There was some issue about parking. The previous owner told us that we could park in this place, and once we got the actual plot on the deed, clearly that's not our place. Clearly that's not part of our home. So she was lying to get us to buy it. But it may have been they told her she could for some reason.
Right.
So maybe a lie, maybe not.
Might have been an agreement or something.
We're not parking there. We don't have our own parking, but there's plenty of spots around there. There's like a half-built home, 2 plots up. That
figure it out.
Yeah, the people who were buying it bailed out. Nobody wants it now. There's couple of empty spots, and so there's room. We don't bitch.
You'll figure it out.
If we have to, there's a spot in our yard we can make for parking.
Let's park on the sidewalk.
And is there much community or socializing?
No.
I mean, if I was there, I think at Jeff's, and I think it's kind of lonely because you don't have a lot. But he talks to the monks across the way, and you got a few different people in the area. Do you socialize with anybody? Or?
My wife does. They none of them speak any English at all. They don't seem to have any interest in it. and so that's fine.
Yeah.
I speak limited Korean.
Yeah.
But now they're just people doing their own things. A lot of them are still working.
Yeah.
And so they've got their own thing going on. A couple of them are like teachers. One's a university teacher. One's a high school teacher. Another one runs a Yuchiwan. The guy who owns the cafe is a preacher.
Nice.
So they all have their own lives to do, and so no, they don't sit out and hang out all day anyway. But when we see each other, we say hi. We say annyeonghaseyo.
You were asking, how do you decide what to do in the day? It's after I got married, there was 6 months where I just said, I'm gonna work a few privates here and there and just enjoy. You'd be surprised how busier goddamn days can get for for someone who's not working. You can make that shit busy, and you wonder, how did I live a regular life with a job? How did I manage?
Having a job, sometimes I looked at the clock and it's like, oh my God, that thing is going so slow.
Yeah.
But not having a job, it's like, holy crap, how has 2 hours gone by just like that?
Sure.
What did we do?
Yeah.
We were looking at the flowers and talking to each other in the front yard. And like, oh no, look at these flowers blooming. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's cute. And it's like, wow, it's dinner time.
Sure.
Yeah.
Interesting, eh?
Yeah. It's all relative, I think.
What, looking forward, what do you see the next 10, 15, 20 years here?
Getting old.
Any inclination to do any work or dabble here or there? Or
no, none whatsoever.
Make a cycling club for retirees, or?
I thought about that before we moved out here. I thought, is there room for another, whatever form factor it takes? Is there another Ulsan Online, coming up? Is something I'm going to get involved in community-wise and do things? It's like, no, I really don't really have any inclination to do that. I think I'm just going to let it see how things go. And right now, it's been just kind of enjoying life. Now that we got the house, the first 7 months were, holy crap, the bureaucracy here, I'm going to strangle somebody.
Yeah.
And so now that we're in and we've got it and we don't owe anybody any money anywhere, and now it's just buying the things we need, and it's still like, we're on coupon daily, buying, we need a pan for this, or we need a pot holder, or whatever. Now we're just kind of,
enjoying.
Yeah, we're just
good. You earned it, man. That's awesome. That's wonderful.
It, yeah.
But let's check in again soon, and hopefully you're bored and want to come crush some projects.
Yeah, the biggest thing has just been transportation. There's not taxis and buses out there, and so it's definitely driving the car. I'm not into the motorcycle thing anymore. I don't want to do that. That's
no. Young man stuff.
It is.
Then give me.
Well, we just interviewed a guy a couple months ago. He's an engineer over in Donggu, but he's 70.
I said 76, but.
Yeah.
76, but he gets out on the bike, on the motorcycle, cruise up and down the coast.
He's got a place in Jeongja. You might see him.
Yeah.
I met a few engineers out that way.
Alfred.
Freddie
Jaggy. I got his card here.
I met a Russian guy last week. It was out there. I met another guy. It was like Nordic of some extraction.
Yeah.
So I met a few engineers.
Nice.
But yeah, the motorcycle thing. It's like you get old and you get brittle, and even a small bump is like this. This is much more serious than when I was.
Yeah.
When I was younger. A bruise back then could turn into a break, or good God, who knows what else. So I just try and. I've lived this long without a major injury. I'm not gonna
knock on wood.
Do it now.
Give me one closing old man's take on AI and what we're looking at here as an ex-tech guy.
Be very careful.
Yeah.
Before you sign whatever away as let AI take over your job or your role, your decision making. Yeah, I'd say we're at a precipice, looking over a long, dark edge.
Yeah.
That people think it's going to solve their problems. I mean, the people who will use AI is like a relationship. There's been some people you're my only friend.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah,
some big lawsuits in the States recently.
That's what I would say about AI is we're close. We're not there yet. We're just not. We're not.
Any optimism or?
The current AI, no, not really. I don't have much because it's not really intelligence. It's pattern matching.
Right.
It detects patterns and things. Not like, gosh, let me free think my way into some new.
It's using existing knowledge to make new shit.
It takes in, it's large language model. It's taking in huge amounts of material.
But it's trained on what you trained them on, and if you train them on the wrong stuff.
If you train them on stuff that humans have already done, it knows everything humans have done. But can it think on its own and do something else?
But even if you train them on the wrong way to do something or the wrong answer, the wrong result.
Did you hear about the guy who asked AI to time his 1 mile run?
No. Is this a one-liner?
Okay. Sounds like you know, but what he did was he said, okay, turn on the timer and time my run. I'm going to go run a mile.
Yeah.
And within 10 seconds, it came back and it said, oh, well, that was 10 minutes. Not because he ran 10 minutes, not because it timed it with the clock, because that's the average time it takes someone to run a mile. And so it said, oh, there was 10 minutes and 12 seconds.
Yeah.
So it's not thinking
Yeah.
Clearly, it's just like repeating. Oh, that's the pattern. Well,
It
what did you
spits
want
out
me to
some
say?
wild shit sometimes,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
that's what everybody else spends. Is 10 minutes and 12 seconds. What's wrong with you?
Good times. According, we actually consulted ChatGPT for your question list.
Okay.
Can you tell us about your salsa dancing career?
I don't have one.
Oh, damn, it's wrong again.
I took lessons once and went, no, 2 left feet don't work.
Oh, sorry, that was salsa, and
That was when
that's
people
Korean for diarrhea. Sorry, tell us about the problem. No, I'm joking.
No,
Yeah.
salsa. When I dance, people think I had polio. Or something.
Yeah. You get that fucking crooked left leg.
Yeah, I didn't get polio, Marty. God damn.
I can't dance for shit either. Dance or sing is absolutely terrifying to me.
Yeah.
And in some societies, man, it's so natural. I watched this. There's a Korean travel show, and in so many countries that they go to, people just freely dance and just enjoy. Even we got lots of Nepali students over here at the college, and they just love dancing. We did like this little event that they held, and they were responsible for setting it all up, and they had to take everything down. At the end of it, I was like, guys, clean this shit up. I want to go home. They're like, before we do anything, we're going to dance.
Yeah.
And I was like,
yeah.
What do you mean?
It's fun.
You can't dance when there's still work to do. No, we're going to dance first. And then I realized my whole way of life is backwards. We got to finish our work before we enjoy anything. These guys are like, nah, fuck that. Let's
A lot of cultures,
crank out the tunes.
built in, and they learn from early on. My daughter married a Mexican national.
Yeah.
And so at their wedding, it's like everybody knows how to dance. Like, where did you learn all that?
Yeah.
When we were kids.
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah. No.
Americans, we don't do that so much.
No.
You're singing here, dancing. All the kids doing their K-pop in the elevator. All this. And I'm like, what do you? My kids, where do you learn that? Like, we don't watch that. We don't listen to that. How do you know that?
Yeah.
Kids at school.
Yeah, it's a big deal here.
Maybe one more last one. I get a kick out of following some of your debates online. Has that stepped up since you retired? Do you have more time to commit to the Facebook
of course
trolls and the other guys, or what?
I think it's stepped up just because we're in a period of there's a huge mass of idiots out there and they're all strangers and they need to be corrected.
Doing my part.
So I got a kick out of looking at some of your corrections for some of these guys out there.
It's amazing. Yeah, I've been banned from a couple of Reddit groups already. I've had my account yanked from TikTok twice, just because it's like, that's just total bullshit. You can't say that. It's not true. And so I get spanked online by the moderators. And but I don't care. I can form another email on any number of different platforms, get another account. So I don't really care.
Hey, lots of time, right?
You gotta start the alternative Redder.
I could.
You could. That's screaming opportunity.
Yeah.
Good times,
Yeah.
man. What do you think?
Yeah, good.
Marty, thanks for coming in, man.
My pleasure. It was fun.
Come by anytime. We'd like to have you in again and catch up. And we'll hopefully see it before.
We need to get a
sooner than later.
Yeah, I need to get a little housewarming thing. We need some more toilet paper.
Yeah, there you go.
If you
Nothing says housewarming like toilet paper
help,
and laundry detergent.
contacting the locals there, let me know who you're inviting, and we can help you set it up.
Who all is still here from the old days? Al is here. Jeff's here.
Al, Jeff, Mark.
Mark.
Was Shilly open when you were here?
Who?
Sticky fingers.
Yeah.
The bar. The owner from there, Shilly.
Yeah.
Who's the guy I sent a picture of walking to school the other day?
Okay. Paparazzi.
No.
Paparazzi name.
What the heck's his name?
Dan.
Gauthier is still here. Dan LaFontaine's still here. Kevin Pope is still here.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Had the basement suite with the parties.
Oh.
Dave
Crowley.
Dave Crowley.
Dave Crowley's still here? Yeah. He's still here?
He used to have some epic parties there in his basement suite.
He's still in the basement?
Yeah.
Is he?
Yes.
I don't know. I see him.
Well,
He plays in Oakdale?
You gotta. Man, I'm still waiting for the Korean Zombie. He said he's got a new mixed drink coming out. That was the last time he came in, man.
I don't know who else. Jean-Marc?
I don't know. If I know
Jean-Marc's still
Jean-Marc.
around, plays the guitar, is in one of the bands. Patrick from JJ's.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyways, yeah, there's a few different
But
folks
yeah,
still around.
JJ's is pretty much the only foreigner bar around.
Yeah.
That's it.
Dongu, there's a few places in Dongu where the engineers hang out, but
Yeah, there's always a few of them, but
yeah.
they come and go.
Yeah. All right, so let's wrap this bad boy up.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming, everyone. Thank you for listening. Talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.